don't know why this knocked. What is up, folks? Coffee break here with another video. Turn this down a little bit. It's Monday morning, and the 49ers are not in last place. The Niners are in third place. It's better than last place, if you ask me. Let me pull up the, let me show what I'm talking about here. If I get my tabs together, maybe I can show y'all. Maybe. Here we go. As you can see, we're currently sitting third. Of course, this is behind the Rams and the Cardinals, who again won week 6. It's crazy how fast this season is going already. But week 6, there you have it. 49ers just in front of the Seahawks. Now, it's just become a laughing point at this time of the season, just to kind of point that out. We've kind of just been up and down. But whenever the Seahawks lose, oh, it's on. And I'm not saying it feels just as good as a win, but I don't know. I feel like we've been their laughing stock for a very long time. So, feels good. But let's talk about some scores before even touching anything. Niners. By the way, Niners are out of their bye week. We're going to be facing the Colts. And I know a lot of you said my audio is low, and I hope is better this time around. I'm still trying to get working on. I'm in OBS now, so I'm trying to figure it out while I'm still doing video. So bear with me there. And in addition to that, I know that there was some confusion about it. Quite honestly, I didn't even know what I talked about. Okay, it's been kind of a crazy week, but we'll touch on the Shanahaan Jimmy Garoppolo thing and the Trey Lance thing, because I think Trey Lance should start. I just think that he should just start moving forward, regardless if Jimmy looks like the better quarterback. But anyways. All right, here's a week 6 breakdown. We already know the Bucs beat the Eagles. Then we have the Jaguars beating the Dolphins. I mean, what happened to Tua? You really have Jacksonville beating you all the way in London. That was an early game. Then the Vikings beat the Panthers in overtime. That was a thriller. You had the Ravens just whooping the LA Chargers. The Rams dominating the Giants. The Colts dominating the Texans. You'll have two 2-win teams on Sunday Night Football if they leave it at Sunday night. Next week when the Niners face the Colts. You have the Chiefs beating the Washington Football Team. The Packers and Aaron Rodgers owning the Chicago Bears. And then you have the Bengals beating the Lions. The Cardinals beating the Browns. The Cowboys, another victory, beating the Patriots. The Raiders beating the Broncos. And then on Sunday night, the Steelers beating the Seahawks. So that's kind of the breakdown. That's what happened this past Sunday. And I hope everyone's doing all right. So what are we going to be talking about today on today's show? Well, I came across this article here. This is by SB Nation, Niner Nation, pretty much. Jordan Elliott, who goes by Splash Cousins on Twitter. So the article title here, which I'll pull up in just a second, reads, Kyle Shanahaan isn't anywhere near the hot seat. So he breaks it down in different categories, pretty much proving his point that Shanahaan isn't going anywhere. And I tend to agree. I think it'll be kind of silly to think, oh, Shanahaan is out of here by the end of this year, because let's think of it realistically. And why don't we just, before I forget, why don't we just pull this up? Here we go. Let's be honest. There is no better option for the Niners right now. There isn't. Shanahaan is their best option, in my opinion. This is my personal opinion. Now, you guys may have different candidates that maybe would be a better match, but right here, right now, in this point in time, I feel like Shanahaan is the better guy. And experience matters, guys. Experience does matter. And so if we're gonna be getting, if let's just assume this is all true. Let's just assume that Shanahaan is in the hot seat. I'll give you that. Well, you better hope that the Niners are looking for a more seasoned veteran coach. I think that the fan base won't be too happy if you replace Shanahaan with someone with less experience, more inexperience than Shanahaan, because we'll be at it just again. We'll be at it. It'll be like a 3-year window where we have to wait until we're good again. Coaching matters. That's all I'll say about that. And I do think that Shanahaan does have flaws, of course. I think he's great at scheming people, but when it comes to actually coaching someone to be better, that's where Shanahaan has struggled. What do I mean by that? Well, when we see a player like Mike McGlinchey not improving, he's staying the same. How does the saying goes? You either get better or you get worse. You don't stay the same. And for the most part, there's been areas where players have gotten better. You can say maybe Debo, Raheem Mostert. I mean, I knew he was in the roster before Shanahaan, but when Shanahaan came in, he became a superstar. This was a guy who was just like a special teams player. That's what they considered him. A gunner. That's all he was before Shanahaan came in. And even then, it took a couple years before he really got his feet wet, and off he went 2019. And that year, he didn't even start until like later in the year. But I'm going on a tangent here. So there's that. I mean, who else has really improved? I mean, talk about Fred Warner. He's becoming all pro. Offensively, like Kittle. I mean, I can't really think of many players. Now let's look at the players who've really stayed the same. We already touched on Mike McGlinchey, Jimmy Garoppolo. And there's something about the quarterback position where for some reason there's no improvement. Year in and year out, there is no improvement in Garoppolo. We know what he is, and it's almost like the coaching staff is like, this is who he is. We just have to deal with it. Let's work around this. But that's a coaching flaw, in my opinion. Wouldn't you want to at least get the best out of that player and keep pushing, keep going? You won't know what you have until you literally weighed all options. Kind of like how John Lynch says during like free agency. We weighed all options, and this is what we got. I feel like you're doing your team, the player, a disservice if you're not really looking to coach him, because that's just the player he is. That's just who he is. He's not going to be better. He may get worse, but that's just who he is. Brandon Ayuk is the other guy, and I touched on this in my last video. You can't have a player you pick that high, and especially when we're seeing CeeDee Lamb just balling, Justin Jefferson balling, but we have Brandon Ayuk on the bench. Not even that. He's playing. He's just not even getting the targets. So, are we really coaching well? No. And I think will definitely be a growing point for Shanahan. At least this is what I hope. I hope to see something change by next year. I'm not saying he needs to go, but his behavior needs to change. He needs to get the best out of his players. And right now, he's not. But let's read. Kyle Shanahan isn't anywhere near the hot seat. It's the 49ers bye week, which means that organic football talk is hard to come by, and the majority of topics will be manufactured out of sheer boredom, lack of content. That's true. Let's see. Well, he goes through follow the money. In June of 2020, Shanahan was awarded for his stellar 2019, so he got a 6-year contract extension. So pretty much he's $10 million plus guaranteed every year for the most part, which, again, Jed York has done this, but we're barely in year 3 of that extension. It's until 2025. So you do the math. It's $30 million left. The performance doesn't dictate termination. So yes, that's another thing. Like, he has a sub 500 record. At some point, you are who you are, though. At some point we have so much of time allotted where it's just like, yeah, we can make excuses for anybody. At this point, this is just who he is. So this is what I said, something needs to change. Because if you are doing the same thing and expecting the same result, expecting different results, then you are silly. You have to change things up now to try and get a different result, which is a better winning record. Make the playoffs. Something. So in 2017, he inherited a roster that was severely lacking in talent across the board and managed to win only 2 games the year before his arrival. Okay. This is why we gave him a 2-year window. This is why nobody's complaining about 2017. Nobody's complaining about 2018 as much. It's 2019 to now. I'll give you that. I'll give you that the roster was crap. We know that. But we also can't neglect the fact that they missed on Solomon Thomas. They missed on Reuben Foster. It looks like Mike McGlinchey was pretty solid, but he's inconsistent. Not enough for me to pick him 9th overall in the draft. Brandon Ayuk, he's another first rounder who's missing. Kinlaw is another first rounder who's just like, people are up in arms about it. And when you see the players around where they got drafted perform well, like in Kinlaw's situation, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Tristan Wirfs, we're gonna like compare. And I know it's hard because they play different positions, but naturally people compare. Like, all right, where do we stack up? If you had to redo a draft again, where would he go? To me, the only one that you can really say, oh, they hit a home run, was Nick Bosa. That's it. As a first rounder, am I missing someone else? We'll have to wait on Trey. That's it. This really comes down to Trey Lance. But the point I'm trying to boil it down to is like, I don't want Trey Lance to be ruined here because the coaching staff can't really elevate people's games here. It's either you got it or you don't. You don't got it, all right, we'll try to work around it No, it shouldn't be like that. You should try to push your players. Push your players to be better. Maybe we'll get a different result. But anyways, so take the first 2 years of his tenure, the beginning of a full-scale rebuild, and a year he was without the quarterback. Okay. Again, we're giving you that. We're giving you those 2 years. 2019 was a baller year. We know that. But 2020 is when people really started to question. Now this year, people are just like full blown. Like, what is Shanahaan doing? And it's mainly because it evolves around injuries. I get that. But this year, the reason I'm frustrated is like, well, this is why we went number 3 overall. Because we have a plan in place. So when you tell me, oh, well, the game plan wasn't meant for Trey Lance, then what are we doing? Because didn't you learn anything back in 2020, 2019, 2018 when Jimmy got hurt? So this is what I'm talking about, man. This is what I'm talking about. It's like, how are we getting better week in and week out when you tell me that the game plan isn't for Trey Lance and it was meant for Jimmy Garoppolo, and this is why Trey Lance is not doing well? There's a lot of good things to look at here, and I hope that the 49ers roll with Lance, because the Jimmy G experiment, I think it's over. It's over. I thought it was over when they drafted Lance, but somehow they managed to keep him, and I'm okay with that. But now he's done it again. Jimmy G's injury has striked again, and at some point, this is a results-driven league. And when everything that we read about the Tom Brady situation points to Kyle Shanahaan wanted Tom Brady, Kyle Shanahaan wanted Aaron Rodgers. He was done with Jimmy. Okay, this is your opportunity. This right here, it's a window of opportunity. You can be done with Jimmy Garoppolo. And by just starting Trey Lance and telling everybody, we're going to roll with our rookie. We want to develop him. He's our future. And on top of that, we're just getting ready for 2022. I know that the coach won't say that, but by playing him is what you're telling the fan base, which I'm perfectly fine with. But if you're going to go back to Jimmy, this is where you're going to lose folks. You're going to lose both sides, pretty much. People who want Jimmy and then people who don't want Jimmy in, because on one side, I mean, some of the people that wanted Jimmy, they're starting to realize that this year we don't have a really stacked team, and the quarterback position is just being destroyed on film. Yeah, we can't really establish a run. I mean, Elijah Mitchell really runs well, and for some reason we just stopped going to him, and it's just not a good brand of football this year. I don't know what's going on, man. But in a situation like this, I have to look at the head coach. Like, what are we doing? All right. Get my headphones going. Get my headphones. That'd be funny. The whole time there's something playing in the background I didn't even know. That'd have been crazy. We jamming this Monday morning. All right. What are we going to talk about? We're talking about Shanahaan. Oh. That's not what I want to do. There we go. The Niners are bringing back veteran linebacker Michael Kendricks for the, I think that there's maybe competition now with Johnson, because they re-signed both those guys like 150,000 times within the past 5 years. I don't even know what to make of this. Like, what do we make of this? All right, let's talk about Russell Wilson here for a minute, because people were making fun of him. Sunday Night Football said, "Oh, he goes through the game. I guess during the pregame warmups, he just does this, and it's not out of the ordinary." Let me be real. I sometimes, before I even hit record, I'm like, all right, this is what I'm gonna talk about. This is what I'm gonna start. It's not crazy, bro, but it is funny. And if I had those recordings of me going like pre-recording on y'all, it would be gold. But Darius Butler was like, I love Mr. Unlimited just as much as the next guy, but sir, get the hell out of that fake huddle. Yeah. I mean, just don't record the man. He's in his own spot. Like, chill. Dude is so corny. Yeah.
Unlimited. Yeah, you got to be unlimited. You got to have a thought process of being unlimited. So when people ask you.
No, I can't defend this, though. I can't defend this video. I'm sorry. I can defend you here because I can see why you're doing it. Like, you're just trying to keep your head in the game. But this to me is corny right here. You could retire this video.
What you're thinking about or what you want to do in life or where you want to go, you got to be unlimited. Tell them, I'm unlimited. You know what I mean? So when they ask you certain questions like,
who brings you motivation, Russell?
Mr. Unlimited.
Who's your role model, Russell?
Unlimited.
Yeah, that was corny. Not sure which clip is more cringeworthy. This one right here. This one. Cornball. All right. What do we got to talk about next? Oh, we have this roughing the passer that I need y'all to see this, man. Like, the NFL really has to come and bring a second, a variance of the roughing the passer. I'm not saying it's not a flag, but is it worth 15 yards? No. Make one like a 5-yarder. Like, don't touch the quarterback after he throws it or after taking a step and you touch him. Because that's what it is, right? Quarterback releases the ball, and then as a defender, you're allowed to take a step and then just maybe put a shoulder on him. Boop. But let's say you take 2 steps and you touch him and he falls down, like he overreacts. To me, okay. Like, kudos to you winning the Oscar there, but it shouldn't be 15 yards. It should be a 5-yard penalty. That's what they should do now, because quarterbacks are doing this. They're like over exaggerating the push, making them like Kyler Murray. He's 5'8", and one little push is gonna throw him 20 yards. So to me, it's unfair for the defense. And let's not reward soccer stuff. Okay, this is football. That was kind of dumb. Oh, this right here. First of all, whoever made this, gold.
Shanahaaannn.
Shanahaan, what is the plan?
And you know I got this on my playlist because this resonates with me.
Shanahaaannn, you got me sleeping in a snoring QB draws are boring. Shanahaaannn, Shan.
I saw this last night and it made my day. Shout out to Eric Price. I mean, this is internet gold.
Drafted Trey Lance, liked him at first glance. You started Jimmy G, but you need to take a chance. Shanahaan.
This is exactly what we're talking about. You drafted Trey Lance. You're keeping Jimmy G. You just got to take a chance and roll with Trey Lance. I mean, you need to put that on a t-shirt, Eric Price.
Shanahaan. You got me sleeping in a snoring QB draws are boring. Shanahaan.
Incredible. I love the internet. Yeah, why don't we just retweet that? This is great. Okay, we'll end it at this right here. This made the internet just, what a gaffe. Jamal Adams in the Sunday Night Football intro. If you missed it,
I'm the best in the nation. Jamal Adams. I'm the best in the nation.
okay, we clearly know he's not, right? Anyone with a clear head knows he's not. Now, there is a reference.
Let's play in the state right now.
Cold lad, you know we good, boy. You already know. I'm the best in the nation.
Okay, cool. People defending him, great. Yeah, it shouldn't be coming from Jamal Adams. That's the last person that should be saying I'm the best in the nation. Why don't we actually have the best in the nation? Safety, strong safety. Say it. That's all. People really went in on that. I mean, they gave PFF overall grade. Yikes.
See the hook route on the outside stop instead of what Ben thought was he was going to cross.
Yeah, this is pretty bad. I'm not going to play the audio because it's, they might trip. I don't know. YouTube might trip, but this hits him right in the face mask. I watched this live. I'm just like, yeah, the memes are coming, especially with that intro. Him getting burned by Deshaun Jackson. Oh my goodness. PFF ranked 62 out of 85. Yeah, this is the face I was making. Right there. Again, I like to laugh at the Seahawks' expense.
Boy, tell him we keep running high.
Stop the cap.
All right, folks. I'm going to end my video there. Thank you all for watching. Again, not a lot to talk about, but just thought I give you guys some updates on that. I thought the article there was kind of important to share, and yeah, we had some laughs. So thank you all for watching my video, and as always, see you on the next one. Peace.